Welcome everyone to 7 Minutes or Less, talking about the shows you love and want to get into. Today we will be talking about 24 Legacy, Season 1. On a quick personal note, in my description box is a link to a GoFundMe page of a fundraiser I started. Everything you need to know is in the testimony. If you can, take a look. I thank you all so much in advance. 24 Legacy takes place 3 years after the events of Live Another Day, where we follow Eric Carter, an ex-United States Army Ranger sergeant whose squad is being picked off systematically by followers of a terrorist leader who is in need of a flash drive to activate sleeper cells. One of Eric's squad members has stolen this flash drive and is completely oblivious to his actions. As this unfolds, Eric Carter is trying to settle down after his return and wants to start a family with his wife Nicole, but she believes he doesn't want to. At the same time, a senator, John Donovan, is running for president. John is an optimist in the practical sense of the word, seeing the good in people. This is put to the test when certain members of his campaign start to have connections to the threat at hand. John's wife, Rebecca Ingram, is connected to Carter as she was in charge of hunting down and killing this leader of the terrorist organization. The concept of 24 here hasn't changed. This is still very much a political thriller using the real-time narrative. It shares the same runtime as Live Another Day with only 12 episodes. Unfortunately, for connectivity's sake, the only character we get is Tony Almeida, reprising himself as the rest are fully standing alone with their own character arcs. These character arcs are conveyed in the typical 24 fashion, and that doesn't give you a lot to chew on. While Tony makes a welcomed appearance, he serves no passing of the torch. He does provide some light connectivity here and there, and as does another character, Mariana Stiles, who name drops Edgar Stiles. But it should be stated that Jack Bauer makes no appearance or has a mention in any way. With new characters and one returning, 24 Legacy provides enough chills and thrills for newcomers, but may be kind of a dud for longtime 24 viewers. I enjoyed it, but I feel this season felt too much of 24 Season 1, only in 12 episodes, with all the stakes happening right here and now, giving us very little time to breathe. Roughly about 4 characters have proper growth and character arcs, giving you something, but personally, I just don't think it's enough. I like Eric Carter and he is a strong lead, but with everything happening so fast, we only get to know him through the actions and very little downtime we get from him. And every other character gets their moments, but then sometimes they fall into the background and there's nothing really explored. Eric serves more as like a Jack 2.0, which isn't bad, but it only serves as a vessel for the conflict. More often than not, for every moment he has downtime, he's busy convincing others that he needs to finish this and something needs to be done, otherwise no one else is going to do it. He sidelines his brother and often his wife on multiple occasions. A show that hits the ground running isn't a bad one, so it's easy to say that this is an action-packed, adrenaline-fueled thrill ride that has a lot to do in just 12 episodes. While many moments are a great setup for what's to come, sometimes you're just left with a lot of questions as like, why should I care? For instance, Eric's brother, Isaac. He is a gang leader, and we are introduced to him in the first episode. They have a little bit of a falling out in their past between them and all that's involved. So while this serves as history for these characters, it's literally at level 10, while the threat Eric is already going through is at a 10. The storytelling is trying very hard for you to care when it's missing key components for the viewer to latch on more appropriately. That's not to say that some of the audience members wouldn't latch on, and nor am I saying that the drama isn't important. It's just throwing every big event at you, basically screaming, care about this. I really have to point out the musical score here. Considering I do not comment very often about the music, the 24 soundtrack has always been very personal for me, and it really sticks out. And Live Another Day was no exception. However, here in Legacy, it did too. If I cherry pick some of the compositions in this season, they would literally be the same as Live Another Day. Some of the most powerful pieces of music that I fell in love with were literally in the series finale of Legacy, and unfortunately, it just doesn't work the same way. Using the same music and not having much of its own composition for these situations unique to Legacy comes off as a little impersonal. Not a great fit. So, if you haven't guessed, 24 Legacy is a bit of a dud for me. It does have its entertaining value for sure, and there were some moments I feel were effective throughout its 12-episode run, but it doesn't reinvigorate the franchise. It just does more of the same. I think the performances across the board were top tier with what they were given, and I think the villains had enough circumstance to be a threat, but with character development being a little lackluster, dialogue being a little repetitive, and one extensive appearance of a legacy character doesn't really lead to much. It would have been nice as a starter for the spin-off series, but not long after the show's run, 24 Legacy was canceled. Whatever relationships that were supposed to blossom, moments that were supposed to be a part of a bigger idea never came to be. Despite this spin-off show being a bit of a dud for me, I still did appreciate it for what it was trying to do. With my love for this show, I would have been on board with whatever it was trying to do. I'm going to give 24 Legacy a C+. Well, guys and gals, this officially ends my 24 reviews here on my channel. Thank you all so much for your support, and I have loved reviewing this show all over again. If you like this and want to see more, please hit that subscribe button. Have you seen 24 Legacy? Did this review help? Let me know down in the comments. Be kind, be reasonable, let's talk. Stay tuned for more reviews, and as always, until next time.